Chris very much left it to the actors to come up with your own backstory if you felt that was necessary, and your own character to a larger extent, because it was so minimal on dialogue. So for the most part that was kind of left to you in a way. Obviously you've got to work with what there is in the script, so you know that he's a private, he's very young and all the rest of it, but the rest was very much left down to the individual, I think. It's the typical story of so many young soldiers of the time, of being from a family. I chose from London because I am from London, and it was so normal to join the army then for young guys, for kids, you know, young men. It was very normal to just join up to the army. There was much bigger families, a lot of poverty, and it was advertised as, you know, going and travelling the world and having an adventure, and all the "We Need You" posters really didn't let them know what they were letting themselves in for. So I think the thing that's hard to recognise in today's day is that it was so normal to join up to the army at such a young age if you were from a certain background and a certain class in the UK. So I think that was a very obvious choice for me to make. The key objective throughout the film for most of the characters is to get home. So it is survival. That is the thing they're running on. They're running on survival instincts and adrenaline and all the rest of it. So that is the objective. That is the key purpose of the character, I guess. I think. But then running in the background, I guess the thing that I would think about a lot, because of the way it was written in the script, it was clear that he was compassionate at the same time, and that he did have an overwhelming sense of humanity in a way that maybe some of the other characters didn't to the same extent. So I think it was very clear to me that I needed to make a choice to play that a bit, which would have been hard not to anyway with the words and the way that Chris has written it. It's very clear. So I think his youth, which carries on to the idea that he is quite compassionate and kind of hopeful in a way. It is hard to put yourself in that situation and try and imagine, because it's such an alien experience to us. I think for most people it's such an alien world, and the idea of fighting and being thrown into battle, and particularly being thrown into Dunkirk, which was such a tragic event in many ways. It's very hard to try and put yourself there. I guess the easier side of it was that I am the age that he, like roughly the age that they would have been. They probably would have been a little bit younger. And the way that I know that Chris orchestrated it so that he wanted a newcomer for the film. I think partly because the experience of doing this film, being kind of fresh to it all. Obviously they're worlds apart, and you can't compare the two, but in a way it aided that thing of being completely fresh to this battle and to this situation. The way that Chris works means that you are, for the most part, reacting to the world around you. He constructs these huge sets and set-dressed huge chunks of the beach, so that when you're walking, you're walking through time. You know, you are walking through Dunkirk as it would have been, almost. So it really did mean you were reacting to the situations he put in front of you, and as long as you went and had a sense of how your character would react, how a human in general would react to a situation like that, I think it really was just going on reaction.